The MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Fantasy. Get up to 1K in a positive match. We sign up an arc with the promo code MLB SGPN. And welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. It's currently Sunday evening, around 5 p.m. Eastern Time on July 27th. I'm your host, Scott Reichel. Once again, join me, Dylan Rockford. Together, we're going to break down all the games for the Monday card. Dylan, how's it going with you? I know that my team ended up actually winning for once today, but Judge is now on the IL. Your team's been on a heater, so I'm going to ask you right now, how fully back in are you on this Mets team?
It's funny that you asked that because I was looking today. I was like, okay, that's 6 in a row. Edwin's playing well. Offense has picked it up a little bit. 60% back.
60, okay.
60. So not all the way back, but we're getting there as we come to August. My question to you, Med Rosario, that's the second utility player you guys have traded for. Trade deadline coming up in a few days. Push you guys over the hump. You guys are 6.5 back, or maybe 5.5 because the Toronto lost. But you bought in? Are you back?
Hell no. Ahmed Rosario? What, are you kidding me? No. I understand why they did it. They wanted to get a platoon bat for third base because McMahon's probably not going to face off against lefties. So they want to do some type of rotation there. The problem is the Yankees' defense has been a laughingstock for the entire season. Rosario has one of the worst defensive metrics in the entire league at third base. So I don't really know what that's supposed to accomplish. On top of that, Judge might have to DH, which means Stanton might be playing the field. That's not going to help the defense. I'll put it that way. But yeah, look, I think the Yankees are a team that should still make the playoffs. We'll see, because I know Texas has been on an insane run. They're about to sweep. They were up by a ton of runs today. So we'll see if the Yankees can hold on and make it potentially in a wild card spot. But do I think that getting Ahmed Rosario is going to be the reason why this team does not completely fall apart? No. The reason why they won today was the bullpen was actually good for once. The bullpen's been really bad, and they ended up giving up, I think it was one hit in the final, 4 innings combined. They were really good to end the game today. But Rosario, they didn't give up much for him. They gave up Beater, who was viewed initially as a decent prospect, never panned out. They officially pulled the plug. I don't really care, to be honest. They got a third baseman. McMahon looks good so far. Limited sample, but they got bigger issues to worry about. And the Judge injury doesn't help.
Who would you want them to trade for?
There's not one person that would immediately change the trajectory of this team that's actually available. Of course, if you want to throw out superstar names that are no chance available, then sure. But do I think that Merrill Kelly, Mitch Keller, any of these guys do anything to move the needle? Not really.
What about a guy like Andrew Heaney, who's shown signs this year that he is capable of throwing a few good outings?
Yeah, the Yankees had Heaney before that didn't work out, so it's probably not going to happen again. But you're mentioning a couple of number 3 starters, number 4 starters. I mean, Keller and Kelly, I think, are more number 2. But I don't think that there are enough trajectory-changing players available that will fix all the Yankees' issues. The pitching's been inconsistent. Judge is now hurt. The defense is a mess. I don't really see that being salvaged by one move. Not to mention the fact that I think Yankees fans collectively hate Cashman and Boone, and that's not going to change. So I don't really see much else changing, but we have a couple days before the trade deadline, so we'll see what happens. But I'll ask you about your moves. You have any thoughts?
Yeah, we got one reliever from the Orioles, which, okay. They said Jared Duran is off limits. They're going to move him in the winter, they said. I think it's heating up between us and the White Sox. Probably get Luis Robert Jr. I mean, it's a nice buy low situation. I know he's not having a really good year. Giving away probably Mark Vientos. He is not in the lineup today, which makes me think he's probably going to get moved within the next 24 to 48 hours. I don't know. There was 3 guys I had in mind. It was him. It was Yurino Suarez, the third baseman. Now, you could argue, hey, you don't really need a bat. But I think the season that he's having, we could always use a bat in the middle of the lineup if Lindor, Brandon Nimmo, Alonso, or even Soto start struggling a little bit. So I wanted him. Luis Robert, I like because I think it's a nice buy low, and we need a center fielder.
Are you actually a Robert guy?
Not really. No,
I'm not either.
But I think it's a buy low situation, and the upside could be good. I don't know if it will. It could be good. And then one bullpen guy I really had my eye on. I don't know if they'll trade him, but Fairbanks from the Rays. If we could get a guy like him, who I think put him next to Diaz, who's been unhittable these last month, I think it put us in a nice situation. But I don't know. I think they're only going to pull the trigger on Luis Robert Jr., which is fine. It's not a needle mover, but it's okay.
Yeah, the large wall in right field helped Diaz out yesterday for the 9th inning. But, it counts. It's a double. It's the only ballpark it wouldn't have been a home run in, so that's all that matters, I guess. But, yeah, the Mets, I think, are in pretty good shape in general. You could argue maybe if you wanted to try to get creative, maybe a third baseman, but Vientos had a big hit yesterday. They're still platooning him and Beatty. Beatty's been okay. I mean, I'm not a big Beatty guy, but he's been better than I thought.
He has. Once they sent him down and called him back up, he has been much better. I'm not a Beatty guy either. Yeah, for the fourth or fifth time. Yeah, exactly.
But that's what I'm saying. So, the third baseman was an issue, but it's actually kind of worked itself out to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
Lindor's been slumping, but he's Lindor. He's obviously going to play every day. You can argue maybe you could try to upgrade over McNeil, but I don't know if you can actually find somebody available for that, or if maybe you like McNeil. I'm assuming you don't.
I don't.
That's what I'm saying. And, of course, Alonso's Alonso. So I think you're fine. You can argue maybe catcher if you're not sold on Torrens. I know that Alvarez came back. We'll see how he does. But
he's been heating up.
That's what I'm saying. So that would be a potential position, but Alvarez has been good enough to justify kind of riding the hot hand. So I think maybe you could argue a bullpen arm, but he got a reliever. So we'll see what happens there. It never hurts to get another starter. But I think your team's fine. I don't really see a glaring need on your team. You're mentioning outfield. Robert has some upside there.
I was going to ask, what are your thoughts on Robert? Because he's not having a good year.
I'm really not a fan of Robert at all. Now, I can tell if that's because of the fact that I just think that he's injury-prone, and the fact is he has kind of been coasting in a reputation that he has not lived up to for a while, or he's on the White Sox and he doesn't care. You never know. When you put some talented people in really bad situations franchise-wise, you never know when they're giving it their all, or if they just need a change of scenery to figure some stuff out in their respective careers. Maybe that's Robert. Would I want him on my team? No. Do I think he can do well with an actual supporting cast around him, with a team that's trying to win? Maybe.
Yeah, we'll see.
So that's kind of my counterpoint there for Robert. I'm not a fan, but it wouldn't shock me if he went to an actual baseball team and contributed to some degree.
Yeah, because I think there is talent there. I think it's a little both. I think two things could be true. Yeah, he's on the White Sox and he doesn't care, and I just think it's underwhelming playing in Chicago, and he has underperformed a little bit and kind of coasting through the last few years. So maybe with a good supporting cast, he'll do a little better. That's what I'm hoping for if they do trade for him.
Yeah, we'll see. I heard the Phillies are also interested, so we'll see if he ends up going to one of those NL East teams. But either way, time to move on into the games for Monday. Before we get into any of those games, though, a reminder that the Sports Game Podcast is back with their 32 NFL team previews. They're bringing back the phrase that pays. Each episode has a keyword. Enter the 32-word phrase, and you'll be able to get a chance to win a $1,000 circa future. Anyway, moving on to the actual games for Monday. Starting off with the first game, you have the Blue Jays taking on the Orioles. Blue Jays finally lost the game to the Tigers, but they still won the series. Orioles were able to kill the Rockies in the final two games. For this matchup, you have Bassett against Eflin. Eflin's been a mess, a 5.78 ERA. Bassett's been good, 11-4, 3.88 ERA. For the money line, minus 120 for Toronto, plus 100 for the Orioles. The over-under is at 9.5. Now, Baltimore went crazy the last couple games, but Colorado's Colorado, so that doesn't mean anything to me. Toronto's been good at home, on the road. They're just a good baseball team. That's why they're in first place. I'm taking Toronto. I don't trust Eflin at all. Eflin, I mentioned before, has an ERA close to 6. It's been ugly. Now, I will point out the last outing, he was okay, so maybe he might have found something, but I doubt it, because he went 5 innings, 2 runs against the Guardians. However, 3 starts before that, it was very, very ugly. 9 innings, 17 earned runs. So he might not go much distance. He's also not been very effective. The Orioles have lost 4 straight starts that he's made. Good enough for me. Give me Bassett and the Blue Jays at another cheap price. It really feels like Toronto. I mentioned this last week. The odds makers hate this team for some reason. because I feel like for a first-place team, the pricing is so disrespectful most of the time, and they've been proving people wrong the entire season. So I'll keep taking the cheap number with the Blue Jays.
I agree. I mean, they lost today, but I mean, I got a plus 168 on Saturday
against Schoolball. They killed the bullpen,
and they killed him. So, yeah, I love it.
Schoolball, to be fair, gave up no runs. The bullpen, died. But
no, I agree. But I agree with the point that market just, for whatever reason, just doesn't respect the Blue Jays, and that's fine with me. We'll continue to back them. I love them in this price. I made them a minus 130 favorite. I get Bassett hasn't been the same pitcher on the road as he has been at home, but he's already beat this Oriole team earlier in the season. He went 6 innings, only gave up 1 run, and this is Eflin's only second start after missing a month. Getting a red-hot Blue Jay team, I just don't think is the best situation for him. This team just digs deep to find ways to win. Bassett also is backed up. Even if he doesn't do that good or just keeps him level in the game, he's also backed up by a top 10 bullpen as well. They're over 500 on the road. Minus 112 I'm seeing. I got that on FanDuel. I think that's ridiculous price. Yeah, I'll take the Blue Jays here.
Yep, I agree. Moving on to the Diamondbacks taking on the Tigers. For this one, you have Mize against Erod. For the money line, the Tigers are going to be favorites, but we have no lines on this game. There are 2 games right now that have no lines. This is one of them, but Detroit will be favored despite being in bad form. Arizona, though, we saw them trade some pieces away, ended up trading away Naylor. They traded away Grishik last night, and I'm sure they'll be trading a lot more. They were really bad in the series against the Pirates. I did give out the Pirates as my dog for the Saturday card. That worked out. The Diamondbacks in a 3-game series against the Pirates scored 1 run, and it was an extra. So in regular, non-extra innings, they scored 0 runs in the entire series against Pittsburgh, and they're probably going to trade away more pieces. Give me Detroit. I don't know what the line's going to be. Maybe the run line. Yes, this team has not been good, but Arizona clearly doesn't care. The front office has announced they're going to be nuking the entire core. This probably today was Gallen's last start with Arizona, so we'll see what happens moving forward. But I'll go Detroit here. I think Mize is still pretty good. Erod I don't like anyway, especially on the road. But this Arizona team no-showed the entire series offensively against Pittsburgh. No interest. Give me Detroit.
Yeah, my numbers did make the Tigers a minus 115 favorite, but I don't know how anyone could back them right now. They did win today. I give them that, but they haven't been able to score in the past 2-3 weeks. Now they're starting to see the pitching regress a little bit. Have a bottom 10 bullpen. Outside of Tariq Skubal, I can't trust the pitchers. Say what you want about the D-backs, but them being sellers at the deadline, I feel like they're a better offense than Detroit right now. And Casey Mize hasn't looked good in the whole month either. Neither has Erod. I don't like either pitcher, but I want no parts of either team. Gonna eliminate the bullpens. I don't have a number, but I'm probably going to fade both of these starting pitchers. I'll probably take the first 5 over. I think both pitchers will give up their fair share of runs here. So I'll take the first 5 over.
Yeah. Moving on to the next game, you have the Rockies taking on the Guardians. For this one, you have Blaylock against Ciccone. Cicone's actually been pretty good recently, at least based on length. For the money line, Cleveland's about minus 240. You have the Rockies at around plus 200. For the run line in this game, you have Cleveland at minus 118. You have Blaylock and the Rockies at minus 102. For the over-under in this game, I see the total being set at 9. Yeah, give me Cleveland minus 1.5. I'm good. Rockies on the road. Blaylock's terrible. Ciccone's actually been good. He goes distance too. So I actually like what he's done over the last month or two. Give me Ciccone and the Guardians minus 1.5.
Yeah, I agree. I made the Guardians over a $2 favorite here at home. They're playing good baseball, and I think the offense has looked much better in the second half. And going against Blaylock, who, he has looked better in July, but I still don't trust him. Rockies have an awful bullpen. They've lost 6 of his last 7 starts in every road start, actually. So, and offensively, I just don't think the Rockies can produce enough runs on the road. They stink on the road. They're averaging around 2.94 runs per game on the road this season. So, yeah, I'll keep it short as well. Guardians minus 1.5.
Yep. Moving on to the next series, or the next game in general, you have the Rays taking on the Yankees in Yankee Stadium. You have Rasmussen against Schlitter. Now, the Yankees are minus 115. Tampa is minus 105, and the over-under is set at around 9. Now, Schlitter was called up a couple weeks ago. He's been fine so far in his first 2 starts. 10 1/3, 5 earned. So once again, not amazing, but not terrible. So we'll see how he does in this one. Now, for Rasmussen, he's been quite good this season. The issue is there's really no length at all in his outings. He has gone to less than 4 1/3 in 4 straight outings. So the Rays clearly limited his innings, despite him being good. There are rumors are going to trade half the team because they're poor. They always trade half the team anyway, and they've also been slumping. So they did not have a good series against the Reds over the weekend. I'll ask you because I don't really trust the Yankees, but I actually agree that they should be favored in this game because Rasmussen's numbers don't matter. He's probably only going 3 or 4 innings anyway. The Yankees are better at home, and the Rays have been falling off a cliff like the Yankees. I'll go Yankees minus 115. I'm not happy about it, but the Rays are playing arguably worse baseball than the Yankees, which is saying a lot, but it might be true. So give me the Yankees at minus 115.
Yeah, I thought this one was a tough game to handicap because I agree. I think the eye test is hard to take the Yankees right now, but my numbers did make them a minus 120 favorite. I agree. I do think they should be the favorite. I have a hard time backing the Rays as well. Either they felt like they fell off a cliff. Mm-hmm. Now Aaron Judge, he's hurt. How long will he be out for? How's this offense going to fare without him? They got blown out. They won today, but they got blown out 3 straight games over the weekend. Offensively, I just don't know. I like the under, low-key. I set my total at 8.4. I see 9s out there. Maybe a lower-scoring game like we saw today, but I don't know. I think Drew Rasmussen's okay, but like you said, he doesn't really give him much length either. I don't know. This one was really tough. I think the Rays have the better bullpen, which made me come down on the under. I like the under 9. It's a little chalky, but like I said, my total came out to 8.6. I wanted to take the Tampa if we were able to get plus money, but we're not. I don't see any unless you do. So, yeah, I like the under if anything. By the way, did you see CeCe? He got into the Hall of Fame today?
I did. I did not watch the ceremony, but he is clearly deserving. He's one of the most winningest lefties of all time. So he was going to get in guaranteed. Yankee legend. So thank you for 09 for the ring. I appreciate it. But yeah, I did see that.
It's so a shame that there was just one writer that didn't put Ichiro for first ballot. It was just
the guy's an idiot.
Oh my God! Did you see what he said? I know you said you didn't watch it, but he said my offer for that writer who didn't vote for me. Your
invite him to dinner or something.
Yeah, and
right?
He said it's expired.
Yeah. Well, the only thing that I remember though for the Hall of Fame, not to get too into a segue.
Yeah.
I think it is insane, even though I am a Yankee fan, that the first unanimous guy was Mariano Rivera. I love Mariano Rivera. He's the best closer of all time. The best relief pitcher of all time. The fact that he was the first unanimous guy over all the other players before him
that's crazy.
Is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And I love Mariano Rivera. But the first ever unanimous guy is him. I think that's ridiculous. That's all I'm saying. Like over like Griffey?
Yeah.
Babe Ruth? You could go through like Ted Williams.
Why? And I don't want to go down a segue either, but why are MLB writers like that?
They're very, very, I'd say, egotistical. And you could argue that's why Bonds didn't get in. Besides the steroid stuff, Bonds was notoriously mean to reporters. And it feels like reporters always get some revenge by holding it against guys who did not give them proper interviews or just kind of scoffed at them back in the day. So, yeah, reporters have an ego complex, and a lot of them, if you're not nice to reporters, are going to purposefully try to screw you over.
What was Derek Jeter's Hall of Fame? What did he get? Oh, he was 99.
I was going to say he missed by 1 vote, I think.
Oh, he should have been one too.
That's kind of my point. There are a lot of guys who should have been unanimous. Mariano deserves to be unanimous, but there are a bunch of guys who should have been unanimous too. You're telling me Greg Maddux wasn't a unanimous Hall of Famer?
I hate Greg
Randy
Maddux.
Johnson? Like Randy Johnson's not a unanimous Hall of Famer?
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. It's crazy how a closer was the first one.
That's what I'm saying. I love Mariano, but I think the MLB Hall of Fame's a joke. So
yeah,
that's how I look at it.
I agree.
But anyway, before we get into the remainder of the card for Monday, a reminder, they're brought to you by Circa. Still hosting 3 of the biggest NFL contests for the upcoming season. Circa Million, Circa Survivor, Circa Rendissimo, over 20 million, guaranteed prizes. You can't call yourself a true DGen if you're not competing in Circa football contests. Coming out with SGPN at the Circa contest weekend, August 21st to 23rd, for an amazing weekend, including live shows and open bars. Plus, you get 15% off a stay at Circa with code SGP15. Contest is open to everyone. Sign up in Nevada, play for anywhere with the help of SGPN's official proxy. Go to footballcontest.com. Use code SGP. Get $50 off your proxy fees. We're also brought to you by Onyx Fantasy because they're doing Best Mania happening all summer long, giving away $15 million in prizes, including $2 million for first place. No waiver wire, no arguments about trades. Best ball is the best way to play fantasy football. And a reminder, they also have pick'em options for Underdog's platform, so you can enter an entry, try to win 500 times your entry. And a reminder to sign up though for your new account, use the code MLB SGPN to get a special pick and a first time visit offer up to $1K in bonus cash. Onyx Fantasy promo code MLB SGPN. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finished going through the first couple games on the Monday card. Time to keep it rolling with the next game, Dodgers taking on the Reds. Reds a good series over the weekend. Dodgers were kind of underwhelming against Boston, but it is what it is. You have Yamamoto against Burns for this one. The Dodgers are minus 175. The Reds are plus 145. The over-under is set at around 9 or even a 9.5 available on FanDuel. Yamamoto started the year very well. Then he kind of had a bit of, but he's bounced back. Last 2 starts, he's gone 12 innings, giving up 1 earned run. So he's been better recently. We know he has been a very solid pitcher since joining the majors. As for Burns, has not worked out for him in his rookie season. In fact, it's been quite bad. Strikes out a ton of guys. He also gets killed more often than not. Last 3 starts, he's recorded 27 strikeouts while giving up 8 earned in the process. So once again, not exactly pitching that well. The Reds have lost 4 straight starts that he's made. Dodgers, though, laying 175 based on current form might seem expensive, but I don't trust Burns at all. I think Burns is a guy who had a lot of hype coming in to his rookie season, and it mostly has not materialized. The strikeout stuff is definitely there, but he's not pitching enough zeros for the innings. So I'll go Yamamoto in this one. I'll go Dodgers. I think they got a chance to cover the run line in this game. Burns might strike out a ton, but he walks guys. Home run issue a little bit too. I'll go Dodgers minus 1.5.
Yeah, even though the Reds, they've been playing much better, my numbers did make the Dodgers just a minus 150 favorite. I saw plus 154 earlier in the day. I feel like I got to take the home dog here. As good as Yamamoto has been on the road and recently, their bullpen stinks, and the Reds' offense has looked better in the second half. I know Chase Burns, he isn't the best pitcher. He gives up the deep ball a little bit. Walks are an issue, but he does strike out a ton. And I don't think he's been terrible at home. And he does have a win against the Yankees back in June. Say what you want. I think the value is definitely with the Reds here. So I'm going to be on the home puppy here.
Moving on to the next game, Braves, who have been free fall, taking on the Royals. Now, for this one, you have the Braves, who are favored somehow. I don't know how they're favored in this game. They are laying about 180, give or take, 175 against the Royals. I see Strider listed in some spots, but not listed on others. So maybe it's Strider, maybe it's not. Rich Hill, though, Dick Mountain is back, and he's pitching in this one as the Royals are plus 150. Over-under is at 9.5. To be honest, I don't care who's pitching for Atlanta. I'm not betting them 180. That's just an insane number. It's like what I talked about on the show for Saturday. Schoolball was pitching for Detroit, but they had lost 11 of 12. I wasn't laying $2 with that team. I'm not laying 180 with Atlanta. This team's atrocious, especially on the road. The Royals aren't good, but they're in better form than this team right now.
Yeah.
Give me Kansas City at plus money. I'm kind of in auto-fade territory for Atlanta. It feels like they've quit on the season. They're going to trade away a couple of key pieces. It feels like they're just waiting for the season to actually end, and they're playing like it. Give me the Royals at plus 150.
Yeah, I agree. They're thinking about trading Ozuna, I heard.
They trade everybody. The team sucks.
Outside of Ozzy Albies, I think they picked up his deal. But, yeah, I would agree. I can't lay minus 180, 190. I thought it was going to be Davis Daniel for him. But
it could be. I don't know who's pitching for Atlanta, so you might be right. But that makes it even better. 180 for Daniels pitching is insane.
That's insane too. Only one start for Rich Hill on the year, but I thought he went fine. I think this is another good spot for him as well. Braves, they're not a good team. They don't hit the ball well on the road. They stink against lefties. They've lost 4 in a row. The bullpen isn't good. Like you said, they're just coasting until the end of September.
Texas killed them in the series.
And that's another team you should buy on them. I think
that team's dangerous.
That team is dangerous right now. So I would agree. Royals are nothing for me.
Yep, same here. Moving on to the next game, you have the Red Sox taking on the Twins. Might be a bit shorthanded in the bullpen. I saw Chapman left with the trainer, so we'll see how long he's for. But you have Fitz against Woods Richardson. For this one, you have the Red Sox on the road, who are plus money. They're about plus 105. I see the Twins at minus 125. For the over-under, I do see it being set at 9.5. I'm going Boston in this game. The Twins have been really bad, and the Nationals, who had not done anything offensively for a couple of weeks at this point, looked good in back-to-back games, and they ended up losing a series to the Nationals at home, which is pretty rough. We know Buxton left the game early yesterday. I want to see quickly if he played today. He did not, so I'm curious if he'll end up on the IL or not. Wouldn't shock me. It's kind of expected to happen at any point in the season. But I'm not a fan of Woods Richardson. I think Fitz is okay, but it's mainly not wanting to back the Twins here. I think Minnesota should be favored. This team stinks. The Red Sox right now are a playoff team. We'll see if they hold on in the wild card spot, but you know what? They had a decent series against the Dodgers over the weekend. It was at home, but still good enough for me. Give me Boston and plus money.
Yeah, I know I mentioned it a few weeks ago, Twins are on my do not bet list, but my numbers did make them a minus 130 favorite. I guess I'm just not personally a Rich Fitz fan. He's too up and down.
It's fine. I'm not a Woods Richardson fan, so I kind of can't.
No, exactly. That's why I think we see some runs here. So that's why I think the total is spot on. My total came out to 9.4, so I agree with the total. I think we'll see some runs here, but he's just doing up and down Fits for me. Not to mention the Red Sox have lost all of his starts on the road, all 5 of them, and he's even lost to the White Sox. So no disrespect to the White Sox, but like if you lose to them, I mean, Twins should be able to beat. He doesn't go long in games. He gives up a ton of hits. And I think at home in certain situations, I think the Twins are backable. They are hitting above 250 at home this season. Minus 125, what the hell? I'll take the Twins here.
I just don't want to light juice with the Twins. You lose a home series to the Nationals?
I know.
I'm good. But yeah, I see your point. I'm moving on to the next game. You have the Cubs against the Brewers in a series that could maybe determine the NL Central. We'll see. But for this one, you have Boyd against Mizorowski, minus 110 on both sides. For the over-under in this game, I do see it being set at around a 7.5 or 8. Boyd's been very good.
Yeah.
This season, 11-3, 2.2 ERA. Mizorowski's been very good too, as he's 4-1, 2.45 ERA. Cubs are over 500 on the road. Brewers are 15 over at home. It's a very, very fun matchup. I'll go under 8. Just give me a good pitching duel between 2 good pitchers. Good enough for me.
Yeah, it's probably the matchup of the day between Mizorowski and Matthew Boyd. But to me personally, I think the wrong team is favored. My numbers made the Brewers a minus 130 favorite here at home. You know, they have cooled off a little after going on that insane heater, but I still think they're better than the Cubs right now. Mizorowski's only given up 1 run at home this season. Small sample size, but the Brewers are 3-0 straight up in all 3 of those games. And on the other side, Matthew Boyd, man. He's a great story. He's been one of the best pitchers in the NL so far this season. But I'm not going to bet on the Brewers. I'm going to bet the Brewers not to get shut out here at home. He's been able to shut out his last 4 opponents. I don't think that's going to be the case here. The Brewers, they're good against lefties. Not saying the Brewers are going to get destroyed by anything, but, you know, the Brewers are going to be able to score some runs here in this situation. So I trust the rookie actually more at home than I do the Cubs right now. So I think the Brewers are just a little better than the Cubs right now. So I'll take the Brewers.
Yeah, I think I'll just go with the under. I'll just give me a low-scoring playoff atmosphere for this game. Moving on to the Phillies taking on the White Sox. Now, the Phillies did win the series in New York. Did lose the finale, though. You have Sanchez against Martin. For the Phillies, minus 215. You have the White Sox at plus 180. For the over-under, I see 8.5. Now, for the run line, for Philly in this game, it's expensive, but it makes sense. About minus 130, give or take. I'm going to lay it. Sanchez is great. I'm not a big Martin guy. Philly, I thought, looked good over the weekend. They did lose the finale, but that was a close game throughout, so I'm not going to get too mad at them for it. But still, I do think that Sanchez has been very good this season. Martin's record's terrible. His ERA is okay at 3.89, but he has a 2-8 record, gets a no-run support ever, and looking at the actual starts he's made, they rarely win his starts. I'll go Philly minus 1.5. I think Sanchez just shoves in this outing.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go on my first total. Give me the under 9. 9 seems very high for me. My total came out to 7.6. We got two good pitchers here in Sanchez and Martin. Sanchez hasn't given up more than 2 runs in over 2 months. And he's always involved in low-scoring games. The past 8 games he started have gone under this total. And Davis Martin, he hasn't looked bad either. His last 7 starts have gone under this total as well. So I know both offenses have looked better here as of late, but in this matchup, I don't expect a ton of runs. So, I'm going to go under 9.
Yep. Moving on to the next game, we have the Marlins taking on the Cardinals. So for this one, you have the Marlins using Edward Cabrera as the starter. You have Palante going for the Cardinals. For the money line, I see Cardinals at minus 120, give or take. I see the Marlins at around plus 100. And for the over-under in this game, I do see being set at around 8.5. Now, Cabrera this season's been up and down, but I do think that his stuff's significantly better than Palante's. He has been up and down lately, but for the most part, good. So I think he should go relatively well in this outing. For his opposing pitcher here, Palante's been very underwhelming over the last couple of weeks. It's been a mess. He's allowed 17 earned runs, 18 runs overall in his last 3 starts combined. The Cardinals have lost 5 straight starts that he's made. I'll take Miami. Palante's been terrible.
Yeah, I agree with you. Fish plus 110. My numbers made him a minus 110 favorite. I think Edward Cabrera has been the better pitcher between him and Andre Palante. And ever since the beginning of May, he's hovering around a 2 ERA. Doesn't give up the long ball. He gives the Miami very good length. I think with the way the Cardinals are playing, he should be able to limit them. I'm not high on the Cardinals. I think it's a fade for them. They're not a good team. I think the Marlins are just as good. So in a coin flip game, I think they have the better pitcher, and I think the offense is just as good as St. Louis as well. So I'll take Miami here.
Yep, I agree. Moving on to the Nationals against the Astros. What the hell was that over the weekend by Houston? Before this matchup, you do have Lord against Valdez. Now, Houston's going to be a massive favorite because Valdez is pitching. They're about minus 240 for the Nationals. I do see around plus 200. For the over-under, I see 7.5. For the run line for Houston, it's going to be a pretty reasonable price as Houston minus 1.5, minus 110. And, of course, the Nationals the other way are plus 1.5 at minus 110 as well. Yeah, once again, I don't know what the hell that was by Houston over the weekend. They got buried in every game by the A's. The Nationals did score. I believe it was 7+ in back-to-back games to end that Twin series. I'll get weird with it. Give me the Nationals money line. I think 240 is an insane price. I understand Valdez is very good. Houston, though, has been slumping. Paredes is injured now, so we know that they are still missing some firepower in that lineup. But you get buried repeatedly and swept at home by the A's in all 3 home games. I'm not laying 240. I can't do it. Give me the Nationals at around 2-1.
Yeah, I agree. I think for value, you have to take the Nationals. Astros, I know they're good at home, but man, they're a very up and down team. I actually like the over 7.5. My total came out to 8.6. Not the biggest Brad Lord fan or the Nationals bullpen. Actually worse in the league. And even though the Astros they didn't have the best series against the A's, I think they're still solid at home. I think they'll be able to muster up 3, 4, 5 runs maybe. Washington will be able to score some runs as well. I think the Nationals are good enough to win the game and also score some runs here. So 7.5 I think is very small. I'll take the over.
Yeah, for the record, Houston should definitely win the game. The problem is 240 is an insane price for a team that no-showed the last 3 games over the weekend. Yeah. Moving on, though, to the Rangers taking on the Angels. For this one, we know the Rangers are surging. You have DeGrom against we don't know, and we have no lines because we don't know who's pitching for the Angels. I don't really care. Give me the Rangers minus 1.5. They've been sizzling. They might make the playoffs now.
Yeah.
Bochy magic is coming back to life in the second half of the season. I don't want to go against this team. They've been really good. And the Angels are winning right now against Seattle. Still not a great baseball team. So I'll go with the Rangers minus 1.5. In DeGrom, we trust.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Regardless of who they throw, might be a bullpen day. You can't fade the Rangers right now. They're rolling. They have one of their best pitchers on the mound. Rangers first 5 minus a half. They're great. I know they're under 500 on the road, but as a favorite, which they will be, 36-16 straight up on the season. So they win when they're supposed to win. They won the huge series against the Braves. They wind up sweeping them. They swept the A's as well. This team is red hot right now. I don't know how you could jump in front of this train right now. So I'll take the Rangers first 5 -1/2.
Yep. Moving on to the next game on the card, we have your team taking on the Padres. For this one, Mets and Montas going, so what can possibly go wrong? On the bright side, the Padres have Cease going, which usually goes terribly. For the actual money line for this game, it's expected to be relatively close on the books because the Mets are actually dogs in this game. They're plus 120. I see the Padres at around minus 140. For the over-under in this game, I see 8 or 8.5. Yeah, you know my thoughts on Cease. They're well documented. I feel like I called Cease to a T about 3 years ago. Not a fan. I don't like Montas either, but ERA-wise, they're actually very similar, and the Mets have been rolling. I don't like San Diego. They were able to get it going offensively in the last couple games of that series against the Cardinals, but the Mets have been rolling. They look very good. It is a Sunday Night Baseball fade, though, if you want to go for that angle, and maybe that's why the Padres are favored in this game. I like the over in the game. I don't trust Cease. I don't trust Montas. I think 8 is too low of a number. I'll go Mets at plus money because I'm not going to lay that with Cease, but I'll go with the over too.
Yeah, I like the over. That's my play. I see 8's around at minus 112. I would take that over. Even at 8.5, my total came out to 8.8. Two pitchers you really don't want to trust. Dylan Cease is terrible. And I did not. I hear rumors that the Mets are going after him. Please, God, no. I do not want Dylan Cease on my team. And I don't think Frankie Montas has been all that good either. Both inconsistent pitchers. And with the way the Mets have been swinging the bat lately, I think they're going to be able to get to Cease. My numbers only made the Padres a minus 115 favorite. I do agree they should be the favorite. Sunday night fade, also being home. Mets still under 500 on the road, but Mets have been the better team as of late. You could argue they've been one of the better teams in the league as of late. So I think the Mets should win at plus 120, but I do think we'll see a higher scoring game. So I like the over better.
Yep. I think once again, it could be an unpredictable game. I'll go with the plus money for a coin flip, but I think C still gets way too much respect for a guy who I don't think is very good. Moving on to the next game, we have the Pirates taking on the Giants. You have Keller against we don't know, but we have lines. For this one, the Pirates are plus 110, Giants are minus 130. For the over-under, I see 8. So every Giants season is exactly the same. They give you just the right amount of hope if you're a fan, and then they immediately fall apart, and they miss the playoffs. So that's where we're headed again. The Pirates, though, have been good lately, mostly at home, but still. Keller's been great. Probably his last start in this uniform unless they decide to keep him if the offers aren't good enough. He's been good, though. He's been a very consistent starter, and the Giants have been really, really struggling. Give me the Pirates money line at plus 110.
Yeah, I just want to see who they are going to throw. I thought it was going to be Landon Rupp, maybe Carson Weinshart. Regardless, I got to take Mitch Keller here. He's been really good. I know his record's 4-10, but he has been much better than his numbers have indicated. 3.53 ERA, which worries me is what you said earlier. Their road record is terrible, 13-37 straight up. But you're playing a Giant team is 2-8. They might lose again tonight. So who the hell knows? This team is a mess. I got to go with the Pirates here based on value. And I think, like you said, they've been playing better. They're scoring the baseball. And, you could argue Arizona's kind of selling. It doesn't really matter. But they beat a Tiger team who's going to be in the playoffs. So I think that says something. So, yeah, I'll take the Pirates here with Rich Hill.
Yep. Moving on.
Mitch Keller, excuse me.
Yeah, either way. Point is I do think Keller will go well in this start. Moving on to the last game, Mariners taking on the A's. You have Sears against Castillo for the money line. I see the Mariners at around minus 130. I see the A's at plus 110. For the over-under, I see 10 as the total. Yes, I know Castillo has been the better pitcher this season. Sears 7-8, 4.98 ERA. I'll point out, though, that he has been very up and down lately, but he was good last start. But looking at his home road splits, like most ace pitchers, he's terrible at home. 5.61 ERA. Castillo's been good, and mentioning the actual numbers, 3.30 ERA this season. Last couple of starts, he's been up and down. No earned runs, 3 earned runs, no earned runs, 3 earned runs. So I guess he's in line to pitch a shutout in this outing. I like how the A's played over the weekend, but I think 130 makes sense. I'm not a Sears guy at all. I'll go Seattle, but I'm not going to bet this game.
Yeah, this is a tough game. My numbers made him a -140 favorite. Mariners seems about right. -130, I agree. Luis Castillo is the better pitcher, but even he's been up and down. JP Sears, I'm not a JP Sears guy at all. Mariners rake on the road as well. I think they still lead the league in runs per game on the road as well. So they'll be able to muster up some runs here. 130, like you said, they should be right. A's are playing a little better, so maybe we'll see some more runs, which makes sense. My total came out to 9.4, so I agree on the over 9.5. But yeah, I probably would take the Mariners if anything, gun to my head. But like you, I probably wouldn't touch this game.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's a situation where I just don't know if I can fully buy in on the A's to keep it going like they did against the Astros the last couple games, because Sears has been just so underwhelming, and Castillo's been good enough where I think that he can hold this offense in check to some degree. Just don't throw good pitches to Kurtz. You can walk the guy, just a thought, just something to keep in mind there. But I wanted to go A's for this game. I needed like 125, and I just didn't get it. So I'm not going to go for that. I don't see any value on the A's personally for this game. Anyway, that is going to wrap it up for every game on the card for Monday. Before we get into the actual games here, or the actual lock and dog picks, for the show, a reminder, they're brought to you by our sponsor, which is MyBookie.ag. It's available to bet on baseball, WNBA, tennis, golf, and of course, football futures. MyBookie is also available to 10 locations. Use crypto for fast payouts. You need to deposit sign up, though, for a new account. Use the code SGPN. They get a special 100% off match up to 1K. Terms and conditions apply. MyBookie.ag, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm, because they have power trends, which are the best of the best for what house models have to offer. And a reminder, they have power trends for both baseball and for WNBA. They've been really good this season. MLB has been very successful, win rate of 63%. WNBA, though, has a 35-20 record since launch. Download the app, check out Power Trends, start betting smarter. And reminder, there's also a free trial that you can access to get access to the actual platform for a week. Use a 7-day free trial by going to sportsgambling.com to get your 7-day free trial. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finish going through all the games on the card for Monday. Time to move on into the lock and dog picks. Dylan, I'll let you go first. What's going to be your lock and dog for the show?
Yeah, I'll start with my lock. I'm going to take the first game we talked about. Give me Toronto Blue Jays. -112, I think, is a steal against Zach Eflin, who is just not good, in my opinion. Blue Jays will keep it rolling. I think they'll bounce back after a tough loss today. They kind of got blown out of nowhere, but I think they'll bounce back here. I think Chris Bassett will be just fine on the road. Don't trust the bullpen either of Baltimore. So, yeah, I'll take the Blue Jays as my lock, -112. Who should I take for my dog? There wasn't a lot. Are the Marlins underdogs or no?
Yes, they're +110.
I'll take.
I would know because you're stealing my plays.
I would take the Marlins. Yeah, I was going to take. I'll let you have them.
No, it's fine. You can take it. You go first. It's all good.
It was either going to be them or the Reds. I'll give you a double dog. I like the Reds as well against the Dodgers, who I know Chase Burns is kind of underwhelming, but +154 I think is a steal at home. They have been playing better, but I know we got someone in the chat does not like the Fish, but you can't tell me the Fish are not as good as St. Louis right now. So if you want to fade them the rest of the year, be my guest. For
the record, we know the Marlins aren't a good team. The argument is the Cardinals aren't good either. So we'll go for the plus money.
Yeah, exactly. And Andre Palat is not good either. So yeah, I'll take the Marlins +110.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. You said Palat? That's the Devils guy?
Isn't it Palat?
It's Palante. Palat's the former Lightning guy, right? Who went to the Devils?
He is on the Devils, yeah.
He's still there, or he retired?
Yeah. No, he's still with us.
He's still there. Good for him.
Yeah.
Okay. Exactly. I used to have him in my fantasy hockey team in high school.
Wow, you do fantasy hockey?
Yeah, I ended up realizing it's a separate side story I'll get to after my picks. Okay. But the point is, I'll get to that in a second, but we did it twice, and I won both times.
Let's go. What'd you win?
The first time, it was a collection of a bunch of, snacks and crap. We half-assed it. We didn't actually care.
That sucks.
The second one was full of controversy, so people refused to pay me. Which I'll get to.
You're done.
I'll get to that in a second. The league folded after that. They couldn't handle me. But anyway, for my lock on the show, I'm gonna go with the Guardians -1.5. Cicconi's grown on me. I think he's actually been pretty good. Blaylock, I am not a fan of at all. And watching the Rockies get curb stomped by the Orioles in the last 2 games of the series. Good enough for me. Give me Cleveland minus 1.5 as my lock for this one. You can find that at around minus 115. For my dog, we have no listed pitcher for the Giants. That's fine. I'll back the Pirates. They've been good to me. I gave them out as a dog on the show for Saturday. They ended up winning, so I appreciate it. They've been good lately. They're not a good team, but they're playing like a good team right now. Good enough for me. Giants are falling off a cliff, as you know, because you've been watching this team play bad baseball to your benefit for the last couple of days. So give me the Pirates on the money line with Keller at plus 110 as my dog. Now, do you want the fantasy hockey story?
Yeah, I do.
All right, so we were in like 10th or 11th grade, and a lot of my friends were very into hockey, but they were Ranger fans. I'm an Islanders fan, whatever. So point is, we decided to get a fantasy league going. I think we had 8 people in the first year and then 10 people in the second year. I won the first year. It was half-assed. We didn't really like collect prizes, but like some people gave me some stuff. I'm like, thanks. And I ended up winning. We ran it back. We added 2 new people to the league, and we did 10. Now, we're in the semis of the playoffs, and my team is just not cutting it. I can tell my team's just not good enough to get the job done. So I realized, or I basically manipulated the pickup system in the league. I realized that there were infinite pickups. He never set a limit to the amount of pickups that you could actually do. So I was adding and dropping people based on the schedule. So if somebody did not play on Tuesday, I was cutting them for a player that was playing on Tuesday. Mm-hmm. And I just kept recycling this process. But the point is, instead of having an average of, let's say, 20 games on your roster, I had like 50.
Oh my God.
So I broke the league, and people accused me of cheating, which I am aware was definitely a frowned upon, scummy thing to do. But to be fair, the commissioner never actually made rules preventing it.
Yeah.
So I really didn't violate anything besides common courtesy and besides sportsmanship. So I didn't actually break any rules, but there should have been rules in place to prevent that. But there weren't. So I ended up doing it, and I won.
It's like baseball. It's the unwritten rule you broke.
I used deferred payments on my fantasy players. And
how much was it for?
The league?
Originally. Like, if you guys agreed to anything.
If it was anything, it was like $20 a person. It was a very small league. It wasn't for high stakes, whatever. But yeah, so a lot of people thought that it was cheating. Maybe, but it wasn't illegal. I didn't break any rules because there were no rules. So
what did the commissioner say?
The commissioner basically just removed himself from all responsibility and said, I don't know what to do.
Coward.
And I'm like, all right, not my problem. That's good enough for me.
Coward.
So I indirectly bullied the commissioner into allowing me to continue my scheme.
Have you been in a fantasy league since?
I'm in fantasy football with the same guys every year, but there was a pickup limit. So that was never an issue. But fantasy hockey, we were in high school. People didn't know any better. And then I had a moment of clarity in the playoffs. Why don't I just keep adding and dropping people? And I'll just have more games. I'll have quantity, which will just get me a greater chance at winning.
They're mad at themselves for not thinking of that first.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I show no remorse.
No,
I set my 2-time fantasy hockey championship, and they'll still talk about it as a joke. They've intentionally refused to try to make me football commissioner because they think I'm a cheater, which is fine for me because I don't want to be a fantasy commissioner.
Too much.
It's a terrible job.
Yeah. So
I've actually, they think they're hurting my feelings. It's actually just great for me. You just took away responsibility from me. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But that's how that went.
I
manipulated the add drop system for my fantasy hockey league.
Do you win fantasy football?
I am a 2-time winner in fantasy football. We've done that for a long time.
Yeah.
We've done that since, I think it was 9th or 10th grade. So it's been a long time, but I've won twice.
I've only won fantasy football once, like with like how you're saying, like high school friends growing up.
Well, how many people are in your league?
10. Yeah,
so we have 10. I've been runner-up twice, but I've won 2 titles.
Yeah, I've only won once. It always starts off the first 4 or 5 weeks, I'm good, and then I just drop off. They start dropping.
I'm usually the other way around. I'm usually like the 1 seed, and then my team either wins the title or I die. immediately. Like, there's no way around it. I either have a really bad week or I coast. But one year that I won was easy. I won every playoff meeting by like 40 points.
Wow.
The other one, the first one I won, I was not the bye. And you want to guess who my starting quarterback was?
That you won?
Yeah. I'll give you a hint. He's not very good. He's not in the league anymore.
Mark Sanchez.
You're on the right track. It was Blake Bortles.
Blake Bortles is a legend.
He was so good in fantasy football.
He was so
good in fantasy football. Because they were trailing by like 21 in the fourth quarter of every game. He's just throwing it. He's throwing for 120 yards and 2 touchdowns in every fourth quarter. It was great. It was so fun. There was one game I remember against the Saints where I had him and they lost the game by like 20. But he had like 400 yards and 4 touchdowns, and they lost by like 20 points, and I appreciated it.
I love Blake Bortles.
He was so good to my fantasy team that year. But yeah, he was my first champion quarterback.
He's probably just doing construction ripping SIGs now.
According to Barstool, that's what he does. So I've seen the video. I know what you're talking about.
Good for him.
Well, he said that if he didn't do football, he would be a construction worker ripping SIGs. So I don't know if he actually does that.
It would make sense.
It would. I could see him being a vape guy, to be honest.
Oh, those are the worst.
I could see him being a vape guy.
Oh, I'd respect you more if you rip SIGs.
I think I would too.
Yeah.
I don't rip either.
No, me either, but I'm just saying from a secondhand point of view. Blake Bortles almost won that AFC Championship game.
They should have won.
They should have won.
They marked him down. That was a fumble recovery touchdown.
I know where I was watching that game.
They still choked the game away, but I thought Miles was that Miles Jack who got hosed?
Yeah, Miles Jack. Holy shit.
Shout out to Miles Jack, the linebacker who also played running back at UCLA for a bit. Anyway, that is going to wrap it up for the show. Dylan, anything else you want to add?
No, I tried grilled cheese PB&J before this.
Okay, so I'm going to ask, was that your choice or was that forced upon you?
They might be listening. Second.
So your girlfriend made you try grilled cheese with peanut butter on it?
Yes.
That sounds extremely polarizing. That sounds like it's either really good or really bad, and I can't tell which one it is.
I did not finish.
Okay, so it was really bad.
Yeah. But
I'd imagine it would be too thick.
It was.
Because you have the bread, you have the cheese, and you have the peanut butter.
Which was...
You need like a gallon of water to chug that with.
I'm on my third one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's rough.
Well,
a lot of salt, too. For the peanut butter.
I'm not making it to 90, so it's all good. I mean, it's all good.
I ended up going for pizza earlier, so I'm with you.
Hey.
Nothing too creative, but...
No.
There's this local pizza place that I've been going to for like 20-something years, and the owner was there. So we actually had a conversation for like 20 minutes. I hadn't seen him in a couple years.
That doesn't surprise me, Scott.
No, but he's a pizza owner, and I've been going there since I was like 6 years old. So, yeah, nice to see him 22 years later.
Yeah, good for him.
Yep, still hanging around. Anyway, until next time, good luck to all of you and all of your bats. Bye, everyone.